Joel Embiid, Jayson Tatum, two of the league's NBA's best superstars on leading NBA Conference Eastern Conference teams, and we're here to break down why each of us think our deserving player deserves to win MVP. I'm Bruce Velez from Celtics Digest. We have Casey Brennan here from Sixers Digest, and regardless if you guys are watching this on Sixers Digest or Celtics Digest, we'd like to say thank you guys for watching this video, and we're going to break down the way we think each player deserves to win MVP and why we think so, looking at the season splits, also at the games this season. So if you guys want to make sure hit that subscribe button, and welcome to join either the Celtics or Sixers Digest family, you guys can. If not, and you guys want to support the other channel as well, just to support the Digest family, would greatly appreciate it. I'm going to hand off the ropes to Casey so she can introduce herself, and then we'll get introduced right into the topics.
Hey guys, if you're watching on Celtics Digest, I'm Casey Brennan of Sixers Digest. Usually my little spiel at the beginning is hit that subscribe button so we can beat out Celtics Digest and subscribers. But today we come together for a harmonious discussion on MVP debates and just where we're at here today. Tied series 1-1, and just talking about one of my favorite sports rivalries.
Same here. The Celtics and the Sixers have had a back-and-forth rivalry for the past couple years in the playoffs. I would say the Celtics may have gotten the best of the Sixers in the recent years, but it's definitely a rivalry, too, that is very exciting and has happened in the last couple years, leading up to last year's playoffs as well. So let's break down talking about this in-series matchup that we've had so far. The Celtics and the Sixers so far have split the series 1-1. They have a matchup ahead of us on Friday, which is going to be an impactful one. In the first matchup that we played, I believe the Celtics came up short to the Sixers, where the Sixers took a command in the series. The Celtics did not play that great. Jaylen Brown was not that dominant, and Joel Embiid was very dominant in the paint, and the Celtics could not really attack the paint that well. In the second game, though, the Celtics had no Jaylen Brown and no Kristaps Porzingis, and ultimately had a great rally with the bench. Jrue Holiday came and played great. We had great performances from Sam Hauser, Jrue Holiday, and the team came all as a whole to beat the 76ers. Joel Embiid had a little bit of a lackluster game in that second one. Let me know what your opinions are on so far. Am I right on that, Casey?
Yeah, I mean, it was definitely kind of a little mixed match because, the first game felt like very much it could have been either of us, and Sixers dominated pretty much all the way up until the last 3 minutes where they decided to give me a heart attack and just, maybe sneak one in, but no, it was really a sweet game. The second one, however, you're right, there was no Kristaps Porzingis, and we should have won that game with the amount of injuries on your guys' side, but we just couldn't pull it out. So coming up this Friday, I'm very curious of what to expect. Of course, I think that the Sixers are going to pull it out. We just had a fantastic game. I just did a collab with Jay of Lakers Digest. It just blew out LeBron. Gave him his worst loss of his career. So I feel like we're riding a little bit of a high right now. And yeah, I'm excited for Friday.
Same here. I think it'll be a great matchup. Obviously, the Celtics will be without Kristaps Porzingis again in this matchup versus Joel Embiid. So Joel Embiid might have a little bit of an easier matchup in the paint versus the Boston Celtics. But the Celtics' great guard duo of Jrue Holiday, you know what I mean? I know in our conversation you said you miss having Jrue Holiday. Him and Derrick White have been terrific for this Boston Celtics team. And I know Tyrese Maxey's been your guys' best guard. They're going to have to do their best to lock him down and make sure that they ensure that he doesn't go off on a 30 or 40 point game to help Joel Embiid. But I'm very excited to see this matchup. Obviously, they'll have a couple more matchups in the season as well. I know that we've played a lot so far in the regular season. It feels like, we're only 18, 20 games in. We've already played each other 3 times. It's kind of crazy. But I'm very excited to see how these matchups go. And I think that the Celtics obviously are going to win. I'm going to vouch for that just because obviously I'm a little bit biased, but I think it will be a great matchup, and I think it'll be one for the record books as the Celtics are riding off a little bit of a high of getting that play-in berth for the in-season tournament as well.
Yeah, I tapped out of the in-season tournament. Not when the Sixers lost. It was when the screen was bright red. Actually, that's when I got disinterested. No, but I'm interested to see how you guys play in the in-season tournament. I'm not gonna lie, I'm not super excited about it. I feel like it's a lot of fake hype, but hey, Who doesn't love Vegas? So
No, I think it's I think it's a little bit cool just to see a little bit of importance in the games in November and stuff like that. Like yesterday was a little bit cool to see that those games actually mattered. There was like some updates on the Kings and Warriors game going down to the wires. Same with the Boston Celtics. So I think that adds a little bit of an element. But I won't disagree with you totally. I think that it is a little bit of a hypeness for a little bit of usefulness in November for us. But let's get into the main news at hand for that we're going to be breaking down, which is MVP race that we want to be talking about. Obviously, you are going to be supporting your guy, Joel Embiid. I'm going to be supporting my guy, Jayson Tatum, over here. But I want to hear what you got to say for your reigning MVP from last year, Joel Embiid. Let me hear your case.
Well, obviously, logistic-wise, Joel Embiid is going to have the hardest time winning MVP this year because he is the current reigning MVP. On the stat lines, though, if we pull up just the direct stats, Joel's doing a little bit better. Definitely that. For me, it's the blocks per game. Seeing that Joel has been playing significantly well on both sides of the court is pretty much my definition of an MVP. The fact that, you know, he didn't even have to play 4 quarters against the Lakers and still put up a triple-double. I mean, what else can you expect? What else can you want from a player? But give me your little summary for Jayson Tatum.
So personally for me, I just think that Jayson Tatum leading a team in the NBA with a bunch of other superstars. Obviously, Joel Embiid has a guy in Tyrese Maxey, but Jayson Tatum's got other guys in Jaylen Brown, who's an All-NBA player, second team last year. He's got Kristaps Porzingis, who I think could be an All-NBA third-team player this year, and even a guy in Jrue Holiday, who possibly could be on an All-Star team, or if not, he's definitely an all-defensive type player. They've got a lot of star power, and with Jayson Tatum having to put up those stats alongside those other stars, I think it provides a big case for him. If you want to look at the stats for Jayson Tatum compared to Joel Embiid, we can see that obviously Jayson Tatum is playing a little bit more minutes than Joel Embiid. Doesn't have as many points per game, but he has to command passing the ball to guys like Jaylen Brown, Kristaps Porzingis, Derrick White, Jrue Holiday. They have to have other points of that. He has his 8 rebounds, his 4 assists. He's doing his other categories. Joel Embiid is doing his as well. Jayson Tatum with the steals. The one thing you do have me beat on is the blocks. Obviously, Joel Embiid being that big paint force, he's going to have those crazy games where he's going to have 4 or 5 blocks, where Jayson Tatum's not going to have that. But Jayson Tatum has those games where, like we saw versus Charlotte Hornets, where he can go off for 31 in the first half and finish with 45 with a lot of threes made. And I think that is something that I get as well. Leading a team, they're both going to be led by their superstars to the top of each of their conference. Joel Embiid has a little bit less star power, so if he has a little bit better numbers, I can see why. But Jayson Tatum having those great numbers alongside, I think, provides a great case.
Mm-hmm. I will have to push back on you on the minutes per game. He doesn't need to play all those minutes. I'm just saying. Does that stat matter? No, but definitely, like, I've made the argument on this channel before about how Tyrese Maxey is going to be the MVP in 2026. It's already set in stone. Like, nothing can change my mind. And it really is, like, in terms of, like, storyline wise of who's gonna make sense as an MVP when you have Tyrese Maxey putting up sometimes more points than Joel several games this season. It kind of, in a very good way, kind of detracts from that possibility. To be honest, I don't think it's gonna be Joel or Jayson Tatum. I don't want to say it. It's probably going to be Jokic again, but I don't know. How about other players? Do you have any besides Joel or Tatum? Anyone you're looking out at?
I think that there will be some definite candidates in the Western Conference, depending on some of these teams. I think, like you said, Jokic is definitely a candidate to be there.
Always
I think
is.
someone else that we could look at, 2 other guys that I like in the Western Conference that are guards. We have Shai Gilgeous-Alexander on the City Thunder. I think he has a possibility, depending on how good this Thunder team can be towards the late of the season. Mm-hmm. And I also think a guy in Luka Doncic, who has been rumored to win MVP for the past couple years as a front runner, but just has not been able to. That if he, alongside Kyrie Irving, Derek Lively, they've had a solid year. They've fallen off a little bit in the Western Conference, but if they can keep up and be a top team in the East, or in the West, sorry, I think that Luka and Shai have a chance with Jokic. But I personally think that in the Eastern Conference, the top two guys that are going to be front runners are two guys that we were discussing, just because I think the Sixers and the Celtics will be top teams in the East at the end of the season.
Definitely. I saw somebody make an argument for LeBron just because of his age, of just like, is he the most valuable player right now? No, but he's also been in the league 21 years, so I don't know. I don't agree with that one. I agree that we got our two front runners right here. Very excited. I think there's, with again this split series, we're gonna see this game's gonna make a huge impact. I'm excited to talk to you again, whether that's after this game or just in the recent future. Do you have anything else you wanna chime in on?
I would like to just say the same thing as well, Casey. Shout out to you for getting with me on this episode, doing my first collab with the Sixers Digest. If everyone else enjoys this content on Sixers, Celtics, if you guys like us combining and doing these duo videos, let us know in the comment section down below so we can make sure that we can get these down. Even we can add some more people. I know that we have Sean from Sixers. We also have Isaac, and we Celtics as well. If we can get even some more people to combine, I think that'd be great. Ultimately, though, I do think, like you said, that it's going to be a great matchup ahead of us on Friday between Tatum and Joel Embiid, and I think that's going to be the true test to see who's going to be one of the leaders coming out of the Eastern Conference.
Definitely. Well, thanks again, and I'll see you guys next time. Bye.
Yep.